Our next act was at Furry Week in Atlanta a couple weeks ago and entered Furry's Got Talent and won Furry's Got Talent. So definitely an excellent comedian. And if you weren't at Furry Week in Atlanta and didn't see this 2 weeks ago, it's still new to you. So everybody give it up for Wag the Dog.
Sometimes when I go to these conventions and stuff, I like to pretend I'm not with the convention, just kind of walk around and, without anything on outside or whatever, just be like, yo, what's with all these people dressed up in the animal costumes? The last time I did that, somebody was like, shut up, we know who you are. I'm still trying to adjust to daylight savings time, which I'm finding very difficult because now I'm looking at all my clocks and they're actually correct. Sometimes I ask to borrow a bite of food or a swig of somebody's delicious Code Red, and people say, what, you're borrowing it? You're going to give it back? And I'm like, yeah. Anybody ever go to a mall? Great, nobody. Welcome to America. Those guys who run those little booths in the middle, the kiosks, I think they've gone a little bit too far. They come up to you and or push you to try to get to answer questions and sell you stuff. But I saw one guy go up to one of them a couple months ago. Went up to a lady who was wearing some maternity clothes and everything, and the guy was like, "Oh, when are you expecting? Congratulations." The lady looked at him and said, "I'm not pregnant." So then the guy turns around and says, "Well, we have this great selection of diet pills for you that you might be interested in." You walk around and you see, people around the convention and stuff, and they're all going like this all the time. And I'm like, is that an obscene gesture or something? They're like, no, I'm walking my Pokemon. And it's just weird. And people carry these things all over the place. Like, they take better care of them than they do themselves half the time, which gives me an idea. See people with kids, and I should really be walking around while I'm doing this so I get my points. But you see people with their real kids and everything walking around, and you just let them do whatever they want, or they can run around or just climb on things all over the place. Well, why don't they make a virtual pet that responds to how well you treat your real kid? Like, if you feed your real kid, hey, your virtual pet gets fed. Hey, if you make them go to sleep, hey, they get rest on the game too. It's all right. If you want to breed your virtual pet, all right, never mind. Sometimes I kind of feel old because I'll be walking around talking to people, and they'll be, just looking at things in general. It's, you feel old when you turn on TV and there's a Time Life, like, audio collection of music that was popular when you were in high school. Like, remember when Pearl Jam was good? We do too. You turn on the oldie station and you're like, I remember when this Bon Jovi song was new. TV land? Yeah. You ever notice that, like, home exercise equipment uses the same adjectives for advertising their products as porno movies use for advertising? Like, you can get sculpted, tight, rock hard. They also star characters or objects named Diamond Jim. Dance Dance Revolution is the only game where it can work to your advantage to have a seizure. I've got a friend who was angry because he was buying condoms and they had to get a price check, and he thought it was humiliating. That's not humiliating. If they're tiny ones, maybe, but it's not humiliating. And everybody complains, but it's so humiliating to get a price check or whatever on condoms. You know what's more humiliating than that? If your mom works for the condom factory. Guess what? My mom works for the condom factory. Every time I go home, I open up my bag that I brought after I leave, and there's something in the bottom. There's like, a little pack of Trojans or something. It's like, how did they get there? I don't know. Thanks for sneaking them into my thing to avoid all kinds of conversations that might occur. And she does it every time I go home. It's like, who do you think I am? There's an advantage to that, though. She can get special order things. For example, they actually do make horse condoms, believe it or not. I'm not joking. And they look something like this. Now that's Now all the cameras are going off. Yeah, you can blow this thing up and take up the whole room. But, yeah, so it's cool because you can, whip this out at parties and people are like, oh, look at that. But it's always weird because there's, always like a couple of people who kind of come up to you and are like, yo, can you get me one of them? And it's like, why? They're like, I just want one, don't ask. I'm like, I can't get you one. Why don't you ask your mom for another one? Because then I would have to go up to my mom and say, can I have another horse condom? So my aunt just discovered this thing called electronic mail, and she got my business card, which has my email address on it. That's not important. And now every day I get all kinds of great messages from her. Things like, Jesus loves you. Forward to 30 people or Jesus won't love you anymore. Look at these kittens. Forward to your inbox or Jesus will never love you. Here's a heartwarming story that's sure to make you feel good. Forward to everyone and Jesus will increase the size of your P3N1S. So I finally got angry about these because you get them constantly, and to her, I mean, this is brand new, even though the rest of us have been doing this for 20 plus years, and I just got frustrated. So I replied with, don't tell anybody, but did you know those stop signs with the white borders are optional? So she emails me back a couple weeks later. It's like, do you know how many police don't know the law? It's like, it's astonishing. All right, and I guess that's about it. Thanks.